London, Reuters, world shares were set for their best week of gains in 6 years on Friday after 2 consecutive weeks in the red, shrugging off a rise in global borrowing costs while the dollar hit its lowest since 2014. MSCI Euro Trademark's World Index of Stocks, which tracks shares in 47 countries, was up 0.3% after European bourses opened. MIWD 0.00000 plus after suffering its biggest weekly drop since August 2015 last week, the index is now on track for its best showing since early December 2011. Some investors have been puzzled at the quick rebound, which has coincided with a rise in bond yields on signs that inflation is starting to creep up globally. The argument commonly offered by economists has been that historically, it is not unusual for stocks and bond market borrowing costs to rise in tandem in a rapidly expanding economy. A euro for me eat a euro trademark's really a question of maybe. Markets are taking a look at the inflationary outlook and saying okay, maybe rates are going up and maybe the economy will compensate for that a euro, said Michael Hewson, chief markets analyst at CMC Markets. A euro or that might change if we move to 3% on the 10-year, U.S. Treasury yield, a euro. The global rise in borrowing costs has been led by that instrument, which hit a 4-year high of 2.944% this week. It stood at 2.8877% on Friday. US 10-YT equals RR. Yields across the euro area were mostly steady, although Germania Euro Trademark's benchmark bund was within sight of 2-1/2-year highs and set for its biggest weekly rise in 8 weeks. The 10-YT equals RR. Investors were also watching for a sovereign debt rating update on Greece from Fitch, set for release later in the day. European shares were also set to chalk up healthy weekly gains, snapping a 3-week losing streak as earnings updates continued to impress, and volatility and jitters over rising inflation eased. Among country benchmarks, the UK's FTSE was up 0.6% and Germany's DAX added 0.5%, while Italy's FTSE MIB was up 1%. The pan-European benchmark is up 3% so far this week, set for its best week since December 2016, but still down around 6% from the 2-1/2-year peak it hit in January. With many Asian markets closed on Friday for the Lunar New Year, MSCI Euro Trademark's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan. MIUP J0000 plus rose 0.3%. Japan's Nikkei. N225 rose 1.2%, with investors relieved to see the government appoint Bank of Japan Governor Haruhiko Kuroda for another term, suggesting the central bank will be in no rush to dial back its massive stimulus program. Equity investors have drawn a degree of reassurance from a fall in the VIX index, a measure of implied volatility on the S&P 500 index, also known as Wall Street a Euro Trademark's a Euro fear gauge a Euro. The index dropped below 20 for the first time since it spiked to a 2-1/2-year high of 50.3 last week, a jump that caused massive losses among investors who bet equity markets would stay stable on a combination of solid economic growth and moderate inflation. A euro or E. While the a euro Goldilocks a euro trademark risk environment from January appears to be fading, we do not believe we are on the cusp of a protracted risk sell-off, because the global growth cycle remains strong in our view, a Euro Credit Agricole strategist said in a note to clients. Dollar in the dumps. Extending the previous day's losses, the dollar's index against a group of 6 major currencies fell to 88.676.dxy, the lowest since December 2014. The index was on track to lose around 2% on the week in its largest decline since February 2016. Against the yen, the greenback fell to its lowest in over a year. JPY equals. There is no strong consensus yet on what is driving the dollar-euro trademark's persistent weakness, especially in light of rising yields. Some say it simply reflects a return of risk appetite and a shift to higher-yielding currencies, including many emerging market ones. but others cite concerns that Washington might pursue a weak dollar strategy, as well as talk that foreign central banks may be reallocating their reserves out of the dollar. There are also worries President Donald Trump a euro trademark's tax cuts and fiscal spending could stoke inflation and erode the currency euro trademark's value. A euro, you could say that right now, rather than stocks rising around the world, it is the dollar falling against almost everything a euro, said Yoshinori Shigemi, global market strategist at JP Morgan Asset Management. Oil prices maintained this week a euro trademark's gains, with U.S. crude futures trading at CLC $161.55 per barrel, up 4.1% so far this week. Brent crude traded at $64.77. LCOC1. Virtual currency Bitcoin recovered the $10,000 mark for the first time in 2 weeks. BTC equals BTSP before easing to $9,844.82, down over 1% on the day.